Happy Sunday morning. Well, I think it's still morning. I like to take it easy on Sunday. This morning I'm going to show you how I make my favorite eggs. I'm not a huge egg fan, but my favorite eggs are Huevos a la Mexicana, which I learned to make when shortly after I got married to my husband, who's from Mexico. It has the colors of the Mexican flag in it, and I believe that's why they call it Huevos a la Mexicana. But anyway, to get started, I am simple when it comes to cooking in the kitchen. There are a few tools that I use, not many. This knife gets more use than any other knives in my kitchen. The other thing I absolutely love, and it's a little worn, is my Pampered Chef chopper, because for onions, makes it quick work, also for serranos. Okay, now that I've got my stuff ready, I'm just gonna show you. I use serrano, onion, tomato, cilantro, and of course, eggs, which are kind of hard to come by these days. Having my morning coffee while I make breakfast, brunch, whatever it is now. All right, so I always start with the serrano and the onion because I like to get those in the skillet cooking first so that they can turn, what do they call it, translucent, the onions, while you're baking them. So here we go. And as you can see, I've got my serranos chopped here and my onions. I'm preheating my skillet just a little bit, and I put a little bit of olive oil in, just a little, just don't want everything sticking. And put this in the skillet here in a second, and we'll be ready to get these huevos going. All right, my skillet's ready, so I'm just gonna shove these in here. Turn this down a little. Actually, I want a wooden one. All right, gonna let those cook just a little bit. And while I do so, I'm gonna cut up some tomatoes and my cilantro to have them ready to go in towards the end. And I am going to crack some eggs and get those stirred up and ready to put in. Okay, as you see here, I've got my tomatoes and my cilantro and my eggs, and I'm just going to stir these up with a fork and get them all mixed together. The thing with this recipe is you can make as much or as little as you want using however much onions, serranos, tomatoes, eggs, cilantro that you want. So it's really easily adjusted, and I don't measure anything. So here we go. These are ready. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in with the onions. All right, so here we are. Might have let the onions brown a little bit, but that's okay. Add a little salt to taste. And then I'm just gonna mix these and cook them. I don't add the tomatoes and cilantro until they're almost cooked because they can make it really watery, the tomatoes, and I don't like to wilt the cilantro too much. So just turn that up a tad. And as you can see, I've got my hash browns ready to go, just about ready to eat my eggs. I'll cut up some fruit, and this will be a wonderful 2B Mindset breakfast. If you've never heard of that, send me a message and I would love to help you learn more about that. All right, about this stage, I like to add in tomatoes and some cilantro. I used a lot of tomatoes this time. don't always need to do that, but I did this time. So I'll stir those in. Sometimes you have to add a little bit more salt once you get the tomatoes in, but here I can hear them sizzling. And I'm gonna add the cilantro. Yummy cilantro. Gives food a good flavor and brightens up the color. I love that. And then we'll just cook these until the eggs are done and ready to eat. Here they are and ready to plate. Voila! A healthy, balanced, and delicious breakfast.